Higher than the mountains that I face, stronger than the power of the grave, and it's constant through the trials and the change. 'Cause one thing remains, one thing remains. Your love never fails and never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails and never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails and never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love, your
On and on and on and on it goes. It overwhelms and satisfies my soul. And I'll never ever have to be afraid. 'Cause this one thing remains, one thing remains.
Come on, sing it with us. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never never runs out on me. Your love never fails and never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails and never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never runs out on me. Your love never runs out on me. Your love, it never runs out on me. Your love never fails and never gives up, never runs out on me. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me.
Never,
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 never, never gives up on me.
never gives up on
You
me.
lift me up,
Never gives up on me.
you soothe my heart,
Never,
you
no,
calm my soul.
never gives up, no.
Oh,
Never runs out on me, no, 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 no. Your love never fails, never gives up, never runs out on me.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you, Russell. Thank you, Ronnie. That's one of my favorites. Love it. Love it. Love it. I'm not getting enough of a reaction out of that. I don't understand. Love it. Oh, good morning. I'm Reverend John Riley. I have the joy of serving as your senior minister, and it's just so nice to see you all here with us this morning in the sanctuary. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're watching online or live or during the week, know that you are in our hearts and in our prayers and that you are important to us. And wherever you are right now, you're in the right place at the right time right now. If you're new to Unity, what we want you to know is that Unity is a global spiritual community welcoming people from all walks of life. People are looking for a deeper experience of spirit, a greater expression of health, wholeness, and abundance. People looking for spiritual growth, transformation, and to do life better. For we teach positive, practical spiritual principles that you can apply in your life every day to help you live a more joyful and abundant life. We're so blessed this morning to have with us Casey Wicker on the platform with me today. Margot LeDuc as our soloist. Russell Norman on piano. Ronnie Beck on drums. Woo! And so we'll begin our service with our opening song. I'll invite you all to stand as Margot leads us in song.
All right, everybody, you got to sing along with me on this one. Here we go. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, and I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Good morning, good morning. Now, Margo, I don't know, I got an idea for you. I don't know if you saw, we had for a sec, we had Day by Day on the screen. So I think we should do a mashup. Day by day, I'm in the right place at the right time, right? Day by day, we are in the right place at the right time. We are, yes, yes. Well, good morning. My name is Casey Wicker, and it's my delight to be here with you and share this energy with you today. I want to let you know that we are part of a worldwide movement of prayer, publishing, and education that teaches us positive, practical, spiritual tools. And these tools open us to this abundant universe that is good and juicy and beautiful. Yes, yes? Yes, yes. So we are a spiritual movement, and wherever you are on your path, you are welcome here. So we have 5 core principles that guide us on our spiritual path, that open us to this juiciness. So let's learn about them. The first is God is. There is only one power, one presence, active in the universe and in our lives, God the good, omnipotent. Our second principle is the I am, that whether you call it God, isness, the universe, whatever you call it, you cannot be separate, because God is the substance and intelligence innate in every person and in all creation. And our third principle is that mind action, the law of mind action. For thoughts of mind produce after their kind, we have the ability to affect our world. And the fourth, this is the meditation and prayer. This is like building a muscle, people. So every day we connect with go into that silence and into the meditation of prayer to connect with that creative, constructive power of God to work in and through us as us. And it's important to practice it because our 5th principle is that daily application, which we are calling the daily practice. That's why it's important, because it's not enough just to come and have our seats in the butts here and learn about it and have me talk about it. We have to live it. And as we practice these principles daily, we express more of the divine within us, and life gets better. We get the juiciness. Yes, yes? Yes, yes. All right. So we are going to, these 5 core, I got so excited. These 5 core principles, they ground us in our vision statement, and it's going to be on the screen behind me, and we're going to say it together. So together, let's affirm this loud and proud. Centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all, and so we do. We continue our service with the call to worship.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all of us. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all of us. And there's quite enough hope, quite enough heart to chase away any gloom. For God's love, God's love is in this very room, in this very room, in this very room.
Our daily word today is comfort. I'm going to read the affirmation first, and then I'm going to invite you to affirm it with me. I find comfort in expressions of love. I'll say it one more time. I find comfort in expressions of love. Okay, together. I find comfort in expressions of love. Speaking the words I love you, provides comfort for an aching heart and peace in times of uncertainty. Today, I open my heart to these loving expressions as a soothing balm of distress or grief. When I am concerned about another, love centers me in the truth that all is in divine order, no matter how circumstances appear. I enfold the people I care about in a sphere of love, encircling them in peace and protection. When I am troubled, I find comfort in others' loving words. I surround myself with those who offer solace in my time of need. I find encouragement in their kindness and compassion. As we share of ourselves in kind and loving ways, we hearten spirits and bolster faith, giving comfort to ourselves and others. From 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 17, comfort your hearts and strengthen them in every good work and word.
We let the love wash over us. We let it be. All right, everybody, put your hands together. Many pray along the way. They don't stop to wonder what the world is coming to. Love will take us higher, reveal the way to a greater life. Oh, so the truth is telling me, sing of liberation for the ones who are not free. Love will take us higher, reveal the way to greater life. Oh, so we let it wash over us, we let it make us kinder, we let it make us better, we let it be, we let it early in the morning, we let it hold us together, we let it now and forever, we let it be, we let the love wash over us. We let it be joy. We let the joy wash over us. We let it be peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. Let's go on to love. Here we go. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. Let it be.
Woo! Good morning. Are we awake now? Are we alive now in spirit? Oh, what do the kids say? Awake, alive, alert, and wake, and enthusiastic? You didn't grow up in YOU? I'm alive, alert, awake, and enthusiastic. Together, I'm alive, alert, awake, and enthusiastic. Yes, yes, and so it is. Well, we are in our third week of Discover the Power Within You, a book by one of the great Unity ministers and authors, Eric Butterworth. And we've been talking about the last couple of weeks Jesus' great discovery, the discovery that the kingdom of God is within you. The kingdom of God is within you. Not out there somewhere, not something that we're going to later, but here, now, and present within us. And that God is everywhere present. And God is not powerful, but rather all power in the universe. And God is not all-knowing, but all knowledge in the universe. And that allness, as I like to call it, that the allness of life, love, and wisdom, that spiritual energy, that movement, that power is in you. Yes? Yes. Yes. All right. I guess I'm done. That power's within you. And it's not in you like you know, the saying, the raisin in the bun. You get that beautiful looking oatmeal. No, what's it called? The bran, not the cinnamon raisin, the bran raisin. You know, those nice big thick ones, and you bite into it and there are no raisins in it. You have to go searching for the raisin. I hate those muffins. But God is in you like the ocean is in the wave. There's no separation. You are flowing in it. You are the action and activity of God. I was speaking with one of our congregants. I didn't get a chance to ask if it's okay if I use her name, but we were talking about God as a verb instead of God as a noun, right? God as a noun is what we grew up with, that God in the sky, that dude that points down at us and blesses us, and that capricious God. But rather, God is a verb, that energy and activity that we call spirit, that moves in, through, and as us. And you, for you are the expression, you are the verb of God. You are the hands and feet of God. Have you heard that before? You are the expression of it. And so there's no separation. And the allness is within you completely. We just have to remember it. We just have to realign ourselves to that idea that Jesus discovered, that Christ consciousness, as we call it. That divine spark, that higher consciousness, whatever you want to call it, that isness of you, that is divine. And we talked about these ideas that Jesus began over 2,000 years ago, that he really had that insight, that realization, and the demonstration of oneness, of his unity with the allness of life. And the idea that you and I are the same and can do the same things. For the things that I have done, you will do, and even greater things you will do when you realize that oneness, when you put that into expression. And so last week I coined the term, it came to me in the morning, we are in the age of emergence. That consciousness is emerging in us. And it's our choice and our responsibility to either go along with it or fight against it. And that's the great decision that we have to make. Are we going to go along with these ideas that Jesus taught so many years ago and allow them to become our guideposts, allow them to become who we are, and allow that consciousness to emerge within us? We were talking about the immersing versus the emerging. Right? The emerging is that which is coming forth, and the immersing is that which, when we go within, when we immerse ourselves in the consciousness of God. That's when we allow that identity, that idea, to come forward more fully than ever before. And what are the results? Well, a more joyful, a more freedom, more peace in our lives, because we're now living that expression. And so today we're going to talk about what Butterworth called the forgotten art of prayer. And that's the way we get into alignment. That's how we immerse ourselves in the consciousness of God. Now, Butterworth says that word prayer has absolutely no meaning in our world today, because you can ask a little kid what it means, you'll get one answer. You can ask an old person, my 92-year-old mother what it means, and she'll give you another. You can ask the minister what it means, and you'll get another description. I'll ask any one of you, and there might be something different because we have forgotten the essence that Jesus was teaching, the essence that the kingdom of God is within you. So Butterworth talks about this idea that we forgot all of that, and prayers turn into flattery, where we feel like if we praise God enough, then a vain God will be moved by our praise. He talks about the ideas of pleading and supplication. Maybe we can coax a miracle, out of this reluctant God. Please, God, please, give me a miracle. And he talks about vain repetition or repetition that has no more meaning for us, as if we're long enough and loud enough, that inattentive God will finally hear me. Now, has anybody heard those kind of prayers as you grew up? Yeah. And that's what's happening, because we miss the subtlety of prayer. We miss the intention of prayer to align ourselves with that infinite intelligence, to let go of this outer experience of the world and reveal that inner splendor of the world. And so Butterworth likes to talk about this as the principles of prayer that Jesus taught, because they were really universal, and you can universally apply them in all places, at all times, and by all peoples. Everyone can use them. They're not segregated by this religion or that religion or no religion. It's a principle, a law that is always active, and all we have to do is open up into it. He talked about it as a technique for achieving unity with God and its limitless life, substance, and intelligence. That's what prayer is. It's getting us in touch with that which we already are, immersing ourselves in it so we can allow it to emerge in our lives more fully every day. In John chapter 4, verse 24, Jesus said, God is spirit, and they that worship God must worship in spirit and in truth. So what was Jesus talking about here? God is spirit. He wasn't trying to define God. He wasn't trying to say, no, this is what God is. Because when you define a thing, you limit it. And that which is the allness cannot be limited. But what he was trying to do was reframe our thinking of the time. Our thinking of that capricious God that grants good things and, sends in the locusts when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. I hate the locust. It's like that raisin that you can't get. I don't hate the locust. I'm sure they have a divine purpose, just not around me. And so prayer, this idea of moving inward into spirit, moving inward, allows us to connect and realize that that's that flowing energy, that activity of God that's moving in through and as us. And it expands our thought of God, and it provides a deeper insight into us. We're not supposed to just show up and say whatever the prayers are without any meaning. It's supposed to have meaning for us. It must have truth in it. It must acknowledge the truth that God is, the one presence and one power. There's no other force other than my adverse ego trying to take over the world. Sorry, easy. Settle down, Skippy. I don't know what's happening here. But it expands our awareness of that allness. And it helps us direct our thoughts in a way that is away from the finite form of life, right? How much of our prayers are all about, give me this, give me that, fix this, fix that, all in the outer realm, right? It takes us away from that outer realm of thought of spirit and truth and brings us back into thinking, and it takes us away from God, of us thinking of God as Superman, as that Marvel hero. What was that Marvel hero? The adverse ego? Where's the adverse ego? Sorry, that's Skippy. But that's what we see as God as, right? The counterpart to that. And it takes that separateness, that duality thinking, that separate thinking away, so that we can realize that we're one with it and allow it to be a part of who we are. On his famous Sermon on the Mount, in Matthew chapter 6, verse 7, he gave us a simple practice. When thou pray, Enter thine inner chamber, and having shut the door, pray to your Father who is in secret, and the Father who sees in secret shall recompense thee. So here's a great example. What he's teaching is close out the outer world. Turn within. Close out that sense of form and function out there, and turn to the inner possibilities, the infinite possibilities within us. The mind is the connecting link between God. Our mind is our connecting link between the mind of God, or divine mind. And so Butterworth says prayer is not a matter of words or outer forms, it's a matter of inner consciousness. That's what Jesus is saying by close the door and move into the silence. In Unity, we have a 5-step prayer practice that, we start with relaxation. And we have a mini example of that after every service when we pray, when we meditate. So we relax. Everyone got that one? We know what that one is. And then we meditate. And meditate is training, is focusing our consciousness, our awareness from the outer world, the sense consciousness, to the inner world. And we start to meditate and bring ourselves into the silence. And that's our union with God. Ego's just at peace. The mind is at peace, and we are one with that infinite intelligence. And from that great power within us that we draw upon in that place, then we make our affirmative prayer, our truth prayers, our truth principles, things that are true. Not things that we want to be, but the reality of who we are. I am one with the infinite. I am the divine expression. I'm the hands and feet of God. And then we give thanks. It's a very simple practice that we do every Sunday, and yet it's very powerful. And here's the thing. Prayer, the activity of prayer, of consciously praying, is the training ground. Okay, you get this? This is the daily practice. That's the training ground. So that you can live your life from that consciousness. There's that phrase, I pray, the goal is to pray without ceasing. Well, what does that really mean? It doesn't mean carrying around your Bible or your books, or hitting yourself, or whatever the practice might be. It's not about the beautiful songs that simply manifest themselves in the middle of the sermon. But it's a letting go of all of those things so that we can be in the consciousness, concentrated, rightly directed, spiritually oriented, positive thinking. And we are in that awareness daily. And that takes practice. Anybody notice? Is that easy? No, it's not always easy. We're too busy trying to take over the world, or at least to control our version of it. Right? We're too busy trying to control what our life looks like. But rather, the practice is to go in secret, to go into that inner chamber, to close that door so that divine love, that non-material force that lies back of all of your dreams and all of your senses, can come forward, can emerge in you. We haven't yet understood this secret place, this unity with God. I think we've had glimpses of it. We've talked about it here in Unity, right? We have an intellectual understanding of it. I can test you at the end of the service, and are you ready for your test? But until we put it into practice, it's just words. Until we put it into our daily practice, that's when we start to really allow it to emerge in our lives. And the result is life is better. And we've had glimpses of this, right? Anybody, we've come out of a meditation, or we've come out of a prayer, we've come out of some experience of life. It could be a walk in the hill, it could be your weekend retreat, whatever, and you're floating, right? Because you're in it, and you're allowing it. And then we allow ourselves to be pulled back down to earth. We allow ourselves to be pulled out of that consciousness of heaven, which is the consciousness of God active within you here and now. We come back to sense consciousness and sense reality. So we have thought of prayer as attempting to perform miracles rather than having a miracle mindset ourselves. Rather than realizing that This is all a pretty darn good miracle. When you think about, when you go outside and see the budding wisteria, when you go outside and see that we still have trees standing after those winds and storms, when you go outside and smell the air, when you go outside and hear the birds, miracles, an amazing expression of the infinite and the divine. Eric Butterworth says this about prayer: God does not have what you want or need. God is the substance that you need. Now just think about that for a minute. God doesn't have the McLarens or the Lotuses. Neither do I at the moment. But God is the substance that lies back of those things. God is the substance that lies back of all of your dreams. God is the substance from which we draw into manifestation those things that we want to create in our lives. He says that you don't have to ask God for life, for God is life, and God is you. That source within you. You are the projection of that life into visibility. The key to healing is to lift up your thought to the consciousness of the wholeness of life in you. You do not need to ask God for it. God is that wholeness. But you must accept it into your mind, which has been seeing in part. So we're seeing not just that wholeness, but we're also seeing the separateness. And so we need to change our consciousness and realign it with that idea of wholeness. You do not have to ask God for wisdom, for God is wisdom. Your mind is an activity of the infinite mind of God. If there is any break in the flow of the inspiration of the Almighty in you, that break is in you, not in God. Not in that which is the allness of life, but rather our realization of it, our understanding of it. We've broken our story about it in some form. I love this quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Prayer is the contemplation of the facts from the highest point of view. It is the soliloquy of a beholding and a jubilant soul. It is the Spirit of God pronouncing His works as good. Pronouncing those works as good. All around us, the miracles. You are the good. You are that expression. And the more we acknowledge that and take ownership over that, the more we are able to bring that idea into the world. So what's the best way to do that? Anybody know? Here's the extra credit. That was chapter 9. Did you have your books? Well, we're going back to chapter 8. The law of non-resistance is the most effective way to be in the flow of spirit, to be in the world, but not be of the world, to allow that energy to flow through us. Now, chapter 8 is a very big book, chapter. I'm just going to narrow it down to this. Butterworth says, life is a great and continuous process of growth. We move from classroom to classroom. And in school, we expect to be tested, yes? School need not be an unhappy experience, but it is a happy time only if we are non-resistant to the process of growth and change. Everyone take a nice deep cleansing breath. If we accept the tests as blessings to us, if we are non-resistant to life's demand upon us, then we will forge happily ahead toward that ultimate graduation. In other words, get out of God's way. So how often in life are we looking at the things that are going on around us and not wanting to go into that classroom? How many of us are dropping that class halfway through? Or doing just enough to get a C? Anybody remember that from? Yeah. None of you, of course. But all we have to do is, it's really about getting out of God's way, allowing that presence to flow through us. So I have a great example for you. I think it's a great example. I'm sure you will too, because there will be a test. Speaking of classes, my oldest daughter is graduating her undergraduate degree from UC Irvine in art. And she's 28. She took a gap leap year and took some time off after going to one of the largest populated schools in the country and being lost and taking about 4 years off. Gap leap year, get it? No one laughed, so yeah, I thought it was pretty clever. And then said by herself, okay, I'm going to get back to school. And she started off at Foothill College, and she got A's. She was on the honors list, and then she got accepted into UC Irvine in the art program. Now, last quarter, you may have remembered, I told you that she took 5 classes. She took 5 classes. These are all upper division. She's graduating in June. And she thought, oh my gosh, I'm never going to do that again. I just want an easy quarter. So she just took 3 classes. Of course, there was an independent studies class and the graduate thesis, exhibition, and critique class. That's like the highest level. This is, as they say, this is what grad school for artists look like. This is the taste for grad school. When she came out of that, she said, this was the hardest quarter I've ever done in my life. It was the hardest thing she ever did. Now, the graduate thesis, exhibition, critique, that sounds like a fun class, doesn't it? Here's the thing. There are no formal assignments. You come in, you bring your work, and it gets critiqued. So half of the class is sitting there thinking, wait, what's the subject matter? What do I have to paint? What do I have to draw? What do I have to create? What's my inspiration? Nope, this is up to you. Oh, and by the way, you can't bring in anything from another class. It has to be brand new for this class, and we're going to start, in a couple of days. So half of the class is panicking because they're like, they've never been in that situation where they didn't have that prompt. They couldn't say, they didn't have somebody saying, okay, here's what you need to do next. Go think about this, go think about that. No, just bring your work and show it. And so my daughter Erin and her friend, they have a body of work and they have this concept. They have thoughts, and they said, okay, well, we'll just go first. We'll get it out of the way. We can throw something together real quick, and then I can refine it as I go along. So she was thinking, that will take the pressure off of everyone else. So the two of them go and they present. And then afterwards, the instructor goes, well, the bar's been set really high. And she's like, oh, yes, and oh, sorry, guys. That wasn't her intention. Her intention was just to help. So by the way, I don't know if I said this or not, but when you hang your art, there's no explanation to it. There's no response to it. You walk up, you hang your art, you sit down, and you listen. And when you're critiquing someone else's art, there is no I like, or I don't like. Those words are not allowed. So talk about non-resistance. If you've just created something, whatever it is, and you've all done something, and you've shown it to somebody with the hope that someone will like it, right? Yeah, no, this is your life's work, and no one can say they like it or they dislike it. Nor can you explain to them what it is that you're showing. You just have to show it. The practice is to express, to listen, and to grow. I express my art, I hang it, I sit back, and I listen, and then I grow. I refine my thinking. I change my patterns. I work on my technique. That's life. Have you noticed? But the problem is we don't sit there and say, but wait, you didn't see this part right here. Right? We don't have the non-resistance of someone else's critique. We take it on personally. And this class taught her, don't take it personally. It's not about you. It's not about your art. It's about their interpretation of your art. And by listening to their interpretation of your art, you can get a greater understanding of who they are. Now, how often have we actually listened to all those people that we're arguing with? Not so much. That's what non-resistance is. Hearing another person's point of view. Without reacting, without responding even. Just hearing, listening, growing. And growing from that. Because everything that you hear is part of your class. And if you look at it from that perspective, this is just a class. And here's my master teacher in front of me critiquing my art, or me, or my clothes, or how I show up, or the words I use, or the things I do. And we take all of that personally, we resist all of that, and that creates separation between us, between God. That's the big clog in the drain that prevents the flow of Spirit to move through us. Non-resistance. What she learned from this class, she said, I learned how to see other people's art differently. No longer I like it or dislike it. Just what am I learning from it? What am I growing from it? What am I taking, what am I experiencing in the expression of it? Now, what would life be like if you had that same concept with the people around you, those that you love? How can I express, listen, and grow? She said this class changed her life. It changed her life, and I can hear it the way she's talking. And now how can you apply that, because I'm always the minister, how can you apply that in other areas of your life? Because it's universal. It's a universal practice. Art is the beautiful it's a ministry. It's a beautiful expression of what is emerging within somebody. It's a beautiful expression of the shadow that's trying to be healed. It's a beautiful expression of how we give to the world, just like words. Just like my speaking up here. Get out of the way and let God be God in you. Now, at the end of the class, I'll tell you that in a second. So, what if in your life you could be bold? Spiritually bold. Not recklessly bold, we've all been there. But spiritually bold. Say, okay, this is who I am. How can I express that? What if in your life you listened to all of those master teachers without taking it on as personal attacks, but rather listening to grow? How can that inform me about me and the other person and the experience? What if you actually approached the life as a classroom with the intention to grow? With the idea of saying, okay, here I am, I'm ready, give me the material. What if you can live life with no likes or dislikes? Just what is. Just allowing what is to be. And what if you took the highest view possible? Always. Always in alignment with Spirit. As best that we could. And grow in learning how we can do that even more. How we can do that more fully. What if we allow God to be God in me? So the end of the story is, this is finals week, but she didn't have any finals, so she's home. And she's hanging out. Next week is spring break, so she has 2 weeks off. And she told me after the class, the instructor, this is the only undergraduate class that this guy teaches. Everything else is graduate work. But he told her, the two people that went first, the two of you should take the class again. She got an A, by the way. And she said the two of you should take the class again. Now, how many of us are going to go through that again? Yeah, no hands. I don't know why this is up. It isn't me. She and her friends said, yeah, we're taking this again. Not only that, they talked to 5 other of the honor students that they have studio time with and convinced them all to take it too. Because she realized the depth of growth, not just in her art, not just in how she expresses, but in life. She said, yes, I want to take this again. She's cuckoo. Let's move to our affirmation. I'm going to read this and allow it to soak in. And as you do, take it on. Be bold when you affirm it for yourself. Allow it to be truth in you. I let go of my resistance and view life from the highest point of view. Together, I let go of resistance and view from the highest point of view. That was my fault. I left out a word there. So sorry about that. It wasn't quite bold enough. Shall we try it again? All right, thank you, Frank. Together, I let go of my resistance and view life from the highest point of view. Let's take that into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer. In this moment, I invite you to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath and close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or soften your gaze. And as we breathe into this present moment, just scan your consciousness, scan your body, see if there's any tension, any stress, any strain, any disagreements, any likes or dislikes. Just notice them and bless them and allow them to drift away. If you're sensing any stress or strain in your body, your shoulders, your stomach, put your attention in your feet. Wiggle your toes. Feel the earth beneath you. Feel grounded, allowing that stress and strain to drain from you, to gently flow out of you. And as it does, we breathe. We breathe in love, the infinite harmonious flow and energy of Spirit. We breathe in peace of mind, comfort and clarity. We allow ourselves to be immersed in Spirit. Each breath taking us deeper, deeper into the stillness of the silence. From this consciousness of oneness, that Christ consciousness within that expresses the allness of life, love, and wisdom in me, I affirm I am one with life, love, and wisdom. I am spiritually bold today, getting out of the way of God, allowing infinite intelligence and divine wisdom to guide me, allowing divine inspiration to spark creativity within me, allowing the harmonizing energy of divine love to express as kindness, compassion, self-love, self-awareness. I allow myself to be a great blessing in the world today. And for this truth, for this experience that we have, we are joyfully grateful. We are richly, richly blessed. We take this energy now and surround each other with it, sending it out to our spiritual community, to our friends and families, to the world, to all of creation in it. As we hold this energy As we bless our world, we uplift the whole. We help this emerging consciousness emerge more gracefully in you, in us, in our world. We hold the same prayer for all of the prayers in our prayer chest that have come in person or online. Seeing divine love and knowing divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. We hold the same prayer for all of our world, national, state, and local leaders, seeing them making wise and loving decisions for peace on earth, goodwill, equality, and justice for all people. And for this time together, for this great expression of the divine, we give thanks and celebrate by singing the Alleluia. And with a nice, deep, cleansing breath, let us return our attention to this time and space and allow ourselves to gently open our eyes if we haven't already done so. And just feel that energy within you. Feel that energy of love flowing through you. And allow that energy to be your guide today. Unity Palo Alto is here to help you discover that spiritual magnificence. Our purpose statement is to transform lives and inspire people to make a positive difference in the world. And you are the good in the world in expression. Yes? Unity Palo Alto is here because of your generous donations. We are a self-sustaining community center, spiritual center. And if you'd like to give a donation here in the sanctuary, there's a box in the back that says Love Offering. If you'd like to give online, there's a QR code, or you can go to our website. But however you decide to give with love. For it's the manner in which we give to the world that we receive. So when we give with love, we receive love tenfold. The affirmation that we say is on the screen, and I invite you to affirm it with me. Together, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And so it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what I have to say: I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife with my
nephew, great nephew would say, "Wowee!" Wowee! Wowee! And so it is, I hope that you are feeling this energy of today, whether you're here with us, whether you're online, whether you're going to watch it later in the week. I hope you're picking up the energy. Yes, yes? Yes, yes, because we are connected in this shared experience. So I'm going to ask you right now, whether it was the music, the amazing talk, the person sitting next to you, the smile you got, the hug you got, whatever it is, think of a word. Think of a word that you want to express. Put your hand on your heart, and we're going to send that out to everybody. Everybody here, everybody online. We're going to send that goodness to the world. And so it is. And so it is. Thank you. So the opportunity for connecting doesn't end here. We have so many opportunities for spiritual growth, sacred service, and celebrating our community. Today at 11:30 via Zoom, join the writing group, Write Your Story. This group comes together to develop their writing skills, inspire each other, and share their stories. Doesn't matter if you've never been, we've learned today, right before, you can go home and sign right in and be a part of that group. So next week is the 4th Sunday of the month, and it's Bring Your Own Lunch Brunch. After service, there are icebreakers, topic suggestions, seat rotations, and this group, it's a great way to come together to meet people or to get to know the people that you already know a little better. And on Friday, April 7th at 6 p.m., join me for this is my heart thing right here. Join me in the sanctuary on Zoom for a Holy Week meditation service. We will travel with the way shower, Jesus, on a journey to Jerusalem, which metaphysically is the habitation of peace. So there'll be reading, music, and times of silence. And this will help to guide us to release so that we can live in that non-resistance and release the erroneous thoughts and open us to the fullness of the divine light as us. And now, we got a little special. Not only do we have Catherine here with us today, we have Catherine and guest. Please come up.
If this doesn't say, we are going to have so much fun next Saturday evening at our Glitz and Glam Gala.
Next Saturday?
Is it this Saturday?
Yeah, well, this coming Saturday.
That's this Saturday.
Yeah, sorry, not
next Saturday.
No, it's this Saturday.
So many arguments.
It's the 25th.
I've had so many arguments about whether
Sorry,
it's this Saturday or next Saturday. No, it's this Saturday.
Sorry,
it's this
I'll
Saturday.
just be clear.
It's the 24th.
No, it's the 25th.
Oh, I should just shut up.
First, what's on second? The gala's on the 25th.
Yeah, the gala's on the 25th, so this coming Saturday.
I'm going to go back to dancing.
Woo! Yeah, okay, so I was right. Well, that deserves a kick. I was right. Next Saturday, the 25th. Yay! Glitz and Glam Gala. Tickets are online. It's going to be a really fun evening. We're going to have so much fun. And maybe he'll wear the pink boa. All right, bet. Lots of goodness, surprises galore, food, wonderful dinner, auction, dancing, music, love, love, love. So come join us. Happy Sunday. Bye now. Thank you.
Reverend John Riley, I have a new nickname for you. Twinkle Toes Riley. Sorry. Not sorry. All right, for more of these opportunities, you ain't going to get it like this, like live and in person. But if you want to check out the opportunities, you can go online to unitypaloalto.org and check out our social media channels. There are so many ways to connect and share the good news that is Unity Palo Alto. Now today is the third Sunday of the month, and that's when we do our children's blessing. So I'm going to invite any children to come forward and come get a blessing. If you'd like to, I want to just share that a blessing is seeing one's goodness. So whether you come forward or not, we are going to see and express your goodness today. So all the children here, all the children out there, together, I think it's going to be on the screen. Do we got it? Yeah. Okay. You are God's perfect child. God, and I love you just the way you are. I invite you to stand now, and we'll sing our song of peace.
Now, before we move to our closing prayer, I just want to say two things. One is we have an amazing group of prayer chaplains who are here to serve you in prayer. If you have any need or wish to pray with them, they have the blue stoles. I see Karen and Sarah Ann has their stoles on. You can meet them right in there where they're at in the sanctuary and have some one-on-one time. And if you're here before the service at 9:30, Sarah Ann is in the Fireside Room Library and is available for prayer time with you there as well. The second thing I want to announce is that today is Mr. Ron Ebeck's birthday.
Birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Ronnie. Happy birthday to you.
You are the backbone of our music team. Thank you for being here, Ronnie. I don't know what we would do without you. You are a blessing. And now our prayer for protection.
I just want to say real quick, John, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Ronnie.
I did not expect that. Thank you all so much. It touched my heart. Thank you.
We love you.
I was going to make you go over and wear the boa, but
Thanks for not doing that.
I've become attached to it. I got to listen to my own talk again. Sorry, my non-resistance talk. And now our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God washes over us. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. Love and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.
Come on, show 'em what you worth. Make them go.